Hi everyone, good morning. Welcome. Let me know who's here in the comment section. I just want to make sure that there's folks here that want to take class before we get started. I'm going to fix my mat and give another couple moments for people to let me know that they're here. If you're coming to practice, you need 2 blocks. Hi, Chris. So nice to have you. What a nice surprise. We will definitely do this. So ready, -2 blocks. I have firm pillows. That works. Yeah, if you have like shoe boxes, or I think you'll be okay. Let's go ahead and get started. Thank you for being here. And yeah, so if you're just coming in, 2 blocks. I'm Maria. Welcome. Thanks for being here. I'm coming to you from Park City for about 1 more-ish week, and then I'm back to the concrete jungle, New York. So go ahead and take a comfortable seat. We'll take a cross-legged seat today. And if you have something to sit up on and that is comfortable for you and that adds a little bit of ease, I recommend that. You don't have to, of course. Yeah, so just find what works in the legs. And let the hands rest on the lap. Let the eyes close. And right away, just notice that first kind of breath in and out. Letting yourself arrive onto your mat. I'm kind of been sharing this. I can recognize that it's difficult to get to our mats lately. It's like a different experience at home, perhaps. You're practicing among, it's a harder practice. It's a more advanced practice to practice among all the things happening in your home, right? There's a little bit of a safety bubble when we go to a studio or a shala. And so just recognizing that, knowing that that's kind of what you're working with. And if that feels true for you, like if it feels like it's been harder to come to your mat or harder to maybe like focus in a little bit, imagine just like a little bit of an orb kind of surrounding your mat and your space. And it's, an energetic type of thing, an energetic orb. A choice really that you're going to kind of like tune in and be here with yourself. Almost as if your mat is kind of a magic carpet. And instead of seeing the world, you're seeing the inside world. You're going internal. And today we're working with vulnerability a bit. And so I want to recognize and acknowledge that we're all kind of like continually dealing with change. And it feels like a lot of things are like different and changing right now, but really things are changing all the time. And it doesn't really matter what's going on in each of our lives. Change is constant for all of us. And the more that we can stay open, the more that we can be okay or accept or allow vulnerability, and the more that we can forgive, especially ourselves, as well as others, the easier change will come, or the easier change will be able to exist in our space, or our little like orb that we've built. almost as if you're building or creating fertile ground. And, I'm mentioning 3 things. There's definitely more. I'm just offering 3 things to help us stay focused. We can think of them as like 3 jewels, 3 of many. This idea of openness, vulnerability, forgiveness as the fertilizers or the preparation for like a garden of change, or like a place where change can like grow freely and well. If your eyes are still closed, let them open and come up off your block. Let's place both blocks or whatever you've got in the front of the mat. And just make your way to hands and knees. So place the wrist underneath the shoulders and the hips are gonna come over the knees. Yeah, and then the hands are shoulder width distance, knees are hip width distance. Just take a look and find a nice like steady shape here. We're just gonna start with some cat-cow. So breathe in and let the belly drop down, chest reaches forward. As the chest reaches forward, see if you can pull the hands back a little bit, just isometrically. They don't actually move on the mat, just muscularly pulling back, allowing the chest to reach forward, the chin lifts. On the exhale, press into the hands and the tops of the feet, puff up the back and let the head fall heavy for cat pose. Breathe in, belly drops for cow. Try to move with your breath. Exhale, puff up the back, press into the hands, press down through the earth or the floor, and really let the head fall heavy. One more cycle here, breathing in. Breathing out. Come back to neutral. Tuck your right toe behind you. Lift up the heel in line with the hip and then carry the foot all the way over to the left. Tap the toe down behind you and then press into the heel a few times. You might feel a little bit of opening in the left outer hip, especially this morning where it might be a little bit tighter coming right out of bed or like close to out of bed. Bring the leg back through center and then carry the right leg all the way over to the right. Set the foot down so that the arch of the right foot is in line with the left knee. On your inhale, come to your finger pads. This will automatically bring the belly online a little bit, and then you're going to come to stand on the left knee. Breathe in to tee the arms to the sides, yeah. And then exhale, right hand slides down the right leg, left arm reaches up and over the head for Parigasana or gate pose. And then you can take the gaze over to the left. Feel the nice open stretch on the whole left side of the body here. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out, come back to center and bring your right knee down next to your left. Step your left foot forward and then just shift the hips forward and let the belly rest on top of the left thigh bone. Hands come to the mat, if they don't reach, put something underneath the hands. And then you can just even let that head fall heavy here. And just notice where there might be compression or tension or where there's not. Staying with the breath. And then from here, look forward, catch your blocks. Do it on the highest setting. Frame the front foot with the blocks. Tuck your back toe, lift your back knee. Press through the blocks and really find space here. And then reach the blocks forward. Come into a supported warrior 3. The right leg lifts up. Breathe in and look forward. Breathe out, step your right foot down. And soften the knees as you fold over the legs. Just let the hands come back to the floor. Breathe in and take a half lift. Breathe out. Step your left foot back behind you and drop your left knee down underneath the left hip. Press through the left hand. And then pick up the right foot and step it all the way back towards the back of your mat. So you got your left hand, left knee, left foot all in line with the arch of your right foot. On the next exhale, right arm peels open. You're in a supported side plank. Breathing in. Breathing out. On your next inhale, option to float your right leg up. On your exhale, option to stay or bend the knee and catch the foot behind the back. If you decide to catch the foot, kick the foot into the hand and let the front of the body open. Maybe the gaze comes up. Breathing in. Breathing out. Stay with it for one more cycle of breath in. And out. Release everything comes to the mat. Find plank pose on your next inhale. Look forward. Exhale, lower to the belly. Bring the legs together. Hands come underneath armpits. Elbows point up towards the ceiling, kind of grasshopper arms. Breathe in, lift the head and the chest and pull your right heel towards your seat. Use the hamstring. Exhale, lower. Taking the other side, breathe in, lift the head and the chest. Left heel comes towards the left seat. Exhale, lower. Breathe in, press through hands and knees. Breathe out, downward facing dog. Go ahead and pedal out the feet a few times here. Open and close the mouth. Keep the eyes soft, shake the head no. Release, holding retention in the neck. Press through the hands here, so you've got really nice long sides of the torso. And then find a little stillness here. Knees might still be bent. Breathe in and roll forward to plank pose. Through plank, either stay here or let the hips drop down and come all the way to up dog. Exhale, lift the hips back up, downward facing dog. Twice more like this. Breathe in and roll to plank. Option to stay in plank or drop the hips down for up dog. Chest lifts, chin lifts. Exhale, hips lift all the way up, downward facing dog. One more time like this. Breathing in, coming through plank, either staying or letting the hips dip. Chest lift, chin lift. Exhale, hips lift up, downward facing dog. Bring the knees to the mat. And put the hands underneath the shoulders. Tuck your left toe behind you. Lift the heel in line with the seat and then take the foot all the way to the right. So you're crossing over the right leg and press through the left heel a few times. Nice, and then come through center. Left leg comes to neutral and then carry the left leg all the way to the left. Set the foot down in line with the right knee. Press, inhale and come to your fingertips. Yeah. Exhale, use the belly, come to stand on the right knee. Inhale to T the arms. Exhale, left hand slides down the left leg, right arm reaches up and over towards the left. Gaze goes over to the right. And then again, you're finding this long line of energy all the way through the right side of the body. Stay with that sensation. Breathing in, send breath to where there might even be tension. Come back to neutral. And take the hands to the waist. Left knee comes next to the right. Right foot steps forward. Sink the hips forward. Fold the torso over the top of right leg. Hands come to the mat. Kind of a lazy Anjaneyasana or crescent lunge here. You don't let the head fall heavy for a moment. And again, just notice where there might be gripping or like a feeling of stickiness. And then see if you can make small movements to like loosen that or find a little bit more space. Look forward, take your hands to your blocks. We're going to take them on the highest setting. Frame your front foot, tuck your back toe, lift your back knee. Walk your blocks forward and find a supported warrior three left leg lifts. Breathe in to look forward. Breathe out, left foot steps down next to the right and fold over the legs. Hands come to the floor here. Breathe in and look forward. Breathe out, right foot steps back behind you. Drop your right knee down underneath the right hip. Press your right hand into the mat. This time, left foot steps all the way towards the back of the mat. Spin the outer edge of the foot down. So right hand, knee, foot is in line with the arch of the left foot. On your exhale, left arm peels up. Supported side plank. Yeah, breathing in. Breathing out. Find stability here. Then on your next inhale, option to float the left leg. Exhale, option to stay or bend the knee and catch the foot behind the hand. If you choose that, kick the foot into the hand and then open the front of the body. Keep looking up. If you have strain in the neck, just look to the side. Yeah, so no pressure to be gazing in a certain way. We want the eyes to be depressurized, a gentle, soft, smooth face. Release this. And take everything to the mat on the exhale. Breathe in and look forward, plank pose. Breathe out, lower all the way to the belly. Inhale, lift the head and the chest. Both heels come in towards the seat. Just a baby cobra here. Exhale, lower. We're going to do it one more time. Inhale, just the head and the chest. A baby cobra in the chest. Heels come towards the seat. Yeah, use the hamstrings if you can. Exhale and lower. Breathe in, hands and knees. Breathe out, downward facing dog. Again, pedal through the feet a few times. Shake the head no. Lengthen through the sides of the waist here. And then turn the pedaling of the feet into just little steps towards the front of the mat. When you get to the front, take a half lift, hands come to the shins, look forward. Exhale, hands come to the waist. Breathe in, come to stand all the way up. Breathe out, heel to the feet together and take the hands by the sides. Interlace the hands behind you. And just kidding, actually separate the feet about 3 to 4 inches between the big toes. Breathe in and reach your knuckles down towards the heels. Let the chest lift. Let the upper arm bones externally rotate. A little engagement in the belly. On the exhale, soften the knees a lot, and then fold the belly over the thighs. Let the hands reach up and overhead. Breathing in. Breathing out. You can shake the head no. Yeah, release the neck. And then breathe in, bend the knees, hands pull back, and then you're going to come all the way up to stand. Release the fingertips and give yourself a hug. Right arm comes on top. Breathing in. Breathing out, release this. Inhale, interlace the hands behind you again. Take the opposite interlacing. So you might have to do the normal way and then do the opposite. Reach the knuckles down towards the floor. Let there be space between the heels of the hands. There's space for the shoulder blades. Engage in the low belly a little bit here, and then lift the chest, chin lifts. Exhale, soften the knees a lot. Belly fold over the thighs. Hands reach up and over behind you. Let that head fall all the way heavy. Open and close the mouth. Release the inner ear. Yeah, right where the jaw connects, like in the inner ear, so you can like let the bottom half of your jaw go slack, even though you're upside down. Breathe in, bend the knees, hands pull back, and then come to stand all the way up. Now heel toe the feet together. Your palms today. And then gather the hands in front of your heart center. Let the eyes close. And bring yourself to the space of dedication for this class. And what I'm offering you to do, or what I'm inviting you to do today is, where can you be just one iota, just a tiny bit more open? Where in your life, where in your space, maybe just even in your own kind of like heart and processing, where can you be one tiny bit more open? Where can you be one iota, one tiny bit more vulnerable? And where can you be one tiny bit, one iota more forgiving? Prioritizing yourself first for forgiveness, and then to others. Right? Forgiving yourselves is like the path. Everything starts at the self. All these things, openness, vulnerability, has to start with us before we can really like outwardly express it. Just a note, just a note. If it's too much, if it's going over your head, forget it. Just stay with your breath. Let the eyes open and take the hands by the sides. Soften the knees, hook the thumbs in front, reach up and arch back. Look up at the thumbs. Exhale, soften the knees, interlace the hands behind you and fold. Breathe in, sit hips low, arms reach up, chair pose. We're gonna move now. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step your left foot back, drop your left knee down. Breathe in, hook thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, hands come to the mat, right foot steps back, downward facing dog. Breathe in, roll to plank pose. Breathe out, lower the knees, arch the back, lower the chest and the chin. Untuck the toes, slide through for baby cobra, chest lifts, head lifts. Exhale, downward facing dog. Observe one cycle of breath here, in and out. Breathe in, lift your right leg. Breathe out, step the foot forward between the hands, left knee taps down. Breathe in, hook thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, hands come to the mat, left foot steps forward, next to the right, and fold over the legs. Breathe in, sit hips low, arms reach up, chair pose. Exhale, swing arms behind you, interlace the fingers and fold. Breathe in, soften knees, hook thumbs in front, stand all the way up, look up. Exhale, bend the knees, interlace opposite interlacing and fold over the legs. Breathe in, sit hips low, arms reach up, chair. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, right foot steps back, drop your right knee down. Breathe in, hook thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, hands to the mat. Left foot steps back, downward facing dog. Breathe in, roll to plank. Breathe out, lower the knees. Arch the back, lower the chest and chin. Untuck the toes, slide through for cobra, head and chest lift, elbows pull back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Observe one cycle of breath here. These are moon salutations. We had a new moon on Monday, so try to be a little bit fluid with this. I know that it's a little bit quicker. Try to let the body flow, ebb and flow, ebb and flow. Keep it fluid. Breathe in, left leg lifts. Breathe out, step the foot forward, drop your right knee down. Inhale, hook thumbs, reach up, look up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Right foot steps forward, nice little left and fold. Breathe in, sit hips low, arms reach up. Exhale, swing the arms behind you, interlace the fingers, opposite grip this time, and fold. Breathe in, hook thumbs in front, soften knees, stand all the way up, look up. Exhale, swing arms behind you, interlace, and fold. Breathe in, sit hips low, arms up, chair pose. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, left foot steps back, drop your left knee down. Breathe in, hook thumbs, reach up, look up. Exhale, hands to mat, downward facing dog, right foot steps back. Breathe in for plank pose, look forward. Breathe out, lower halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, chest lifts. Exhale, downward facing dog. One cycle of breath here, just watch the breath in. And out. Breathe in, right leg lifts. Breathe out, step the foot forward and drop your left knee down. Hook thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, hands to the mat, left foot steps forward and fold. Breathe in, sit hips low, arms up, chair pose. Exhale, swing arms behind you, interlace and fold. Soften knees, hook thumbs in front, stand up, look up. Exhale, last one, swing arms behind you, interlace, opposite interlacing and fold. Inhale, sit hips low, arms up, chair pose. Let this be joyful. Exhale, fold over the lips. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, right foot steps back, drop your right knee down. Breathe in, hook thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, hands to the mat, left foot steps back, down dog. Breathe in, roll to plank. Breathe out, look forward, lower halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Observe the breath. One cycle here, in and out. Breathe in, left leg lifts. Breathe out, step the foot forward, drop your right knee down. Inhale, hook thumbs, reach up, look up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Right foot steps forward next to the left and fold. Breathe in, sit hips low, arms up. Exhale, swing arms behind you, interlace, opposite grip and fold. Soften the knees, hook thumbs in front. Stand all the way up, look up, ground the feet and pull the hands through heart center. Close the eyes. Feel the feet on the ground. Notice the belly. Notice the breath. Notice where the mind went. If you stay open, vulnerable, forgiving, just a check-in. Let the eyes open up, heel toe the feet together. Lift the heels, squeeze the inner seams of the legs together like you're making one pillar with the legs. And then slowly begin to lower the hips down towards the heels. Keep the heels lifted if you can. Torso stays upright like you're sliding down the wall. Once the heels once the seat reaches the heels, knees go wide and then walk the hands forward for Yogi Squat Malasana Garland pose. So the heels sink down, the hips sink down, and then you reach the fingertips forward, let the head fall heavy. The knees just kind of have freedom to move however much they can in either direction. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out, hands come underneath the shoulders, lift the hips and step back, downward facing dog. Breathe in and lift your right leg up. Breathe out, step the foot forward between the hands and spin your back heel down. So you got a little space. You're almost like more on railroad tracks with your feet. Breathe in, arms reach to the side and up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Yeah, really like let the chest open here. Breathe in, arms reach up. Breathe out, interlace the hands behind you. Inhale, Run your knuckles down the inner seam of your left leg as you let the chest lift. Let the upper arm bones externally rotate. On the exhale, ground the outer edge of your left foot as you let the right knee soften. Then the gaze can go up. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Come back to neutral here. Hands come to the heart. Inhale. Flip up your back heel. Exhale, torso comes forward 45 degrees. Weight comes into the right foot. Warrior 3, just a transition. Breathe in. Left leg, let's just arrive for a moment. And come it up, left foot step down. Put your right knee into the chest. Open the knee to the side and set up for tree pose. So make sure that the right foot's pressing against the inner seam of your left leg, but not on the knee joint. Keep the knees safe. Hands gather in front of your heart center. Take a moment here to find the root of this pose. So you're pressing down through the big toe of the left foot. The left leg is super engaged, and it's actually pushing against your right foot. Find focus in the gaze. So just find something to look at. A soft, focused gaze. Once you find stability, then reach the arms up and overhead on an inhale. If you're grounded down through the floor, you'll be able to reach the fingertips a little bit higher even. Take the hands to the waist, carry the right knee forward, extend the leg long, and then step the foot down. Breathe in, reach the arms up and overhead. Look up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, soften the knees and fold over the legs. Breathe in, take a half lift. Breathe out, step your left foot all the way back behind you. Spin the heel down. This time the heels are going to be almost on the same plane. You can separate them a bit if you feel any tension in the low back. Take a block, place it outside your right ankle. Breathe in and straighten your right leg. Breathe out, peel your left arm, open, triangle pose. So I'm going to ask you to take your right hand a little bit further back. See if you can find one line between the right wrist and the left wrist. You got a really nice wide stance. Yeah, if you don't have blocks, your stance might be even wider. So that you can press something, your hand into something, the right hand into something, either the floor, pillow, block, etc. And then lengthen out both sides of the waist. So there's space between the depthness of this right armpit and the right hip. And then turn the sternum up towards the ceiling, soften the front ribs. Your back ribs reach up towards the back, or the back of the head. Yeah, and then take the left arm up and over the ear. Bend the elbow, take the hand to the nape of the neck. Pull the arm in towards the face. So you've got this nice support for the neck, and then maybe continue to lift the sternum, the chin up towards the ceiling. Breathing in. Pressing down through both feet, breathing out. Inhale, extend your left arm long. Exhale, soften right knee, left hand come to the mat. Move your block to the side and find low lunge. Breathe in, step to plank pose. Big toes come to touch. Turn to the outer edge of your left foot. Right arm reaches up, side plank. Breathing in, stack the feet, lift the hips. Breathing out. Finding another long line of energy from left wrist to right wrist. Chest is open. Space for the collarbones. Breathe in for plank pose, look forward. Breathe out, lower halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Breathe in, left leg lifts. Breathe out, step the foot forward, spin your back heel down. Breathe in, arms reach to the sides and up, warrior one. See the hands meet overhead. Exhale, cactus the arms. Really let the elbows pull the chest, the pectoral muscles open. Breathe in, arms reach up. Breathe out, take the hands behind you and interlace opposite grip. Inhale, slide the knuckles down the inner seam of your back leg, your right leg. Let the chest open. Exhale, soften into your front knee. Look up. Breathing in. Breathing out. Don't lose the firmness of the grounding through the feet. Really pressing through the outer edge of the back foot. Breathing in. Breathing out. Come back to neutral. Hands come to touch in front of the heart. Take the torso forward and flip up your back heel. More weight comes into the left foot. Maybe you tap the foot a few times. Find warrior three as a transition. Right leg lifts up. Exhale, step the right foot down. Keep the hands by the sides. Plug the left knee into the chest. Open the knee to the side and set up for tree pose. Find stability through the right leg. Feel The big toe mound pressing down into the mat. Feel the inner arch of the right foot pulling up, and then there's this line of energy that comes all the way up through the inner seam of your right leg. And that seam is going to push against the sole of the left foot. Gather the hands in front of the heart. Find a focused gaze. Keep it soft. So you're focusing your gaze, but you're not staring in the way that the eyes like bulge out of the head, or that you have to like clench the jaw. Stay soft. Stay open. Let yourself be in a position that requires stability, but can you be like vulnerable at the same time? Can those two things exist across like an and rather than an or? Arms reach up and overhead. And then because you've grounded down, can you reach the hands a little bit higher? Yeah, really finding length in the sides of the waist. Hands come to the hips, carry the left knee forward, extend the left leg long, and step the foot down, release the hands. Breathe in and reach the arms up and overhead, look up. Exhale, soften the knees and fold over the legs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, this time right foot steps all the way back, pretty far back, and spin the heel down. The heels are going to be a little bit closer in line with one another. Bring a block outside the left ankle. Press your left hand down into the block or the floor pillow. Exhale, right arm reaches up again. Find this nice long line of energy. So as you press down through the left hand, the right fingers can reach a little bit higher, and you find even more space for the chest. Find length in the left side of the body, this underside especially, right? And then bring the right hand up and over the ear, bend the elbow and take the hand to the nape of the neck. Pull the elbow in towards the face, and then allow the support of the neck and the head to open the sternum up towards the ceiling. It should feel kind of comforting and nice. No strain in the neck. Almost like you could just lean back and someone's going to catch your head. That someone happens to be yourself today. Good, and then release the right arm long. Exhale, hand comes to the mat, soften your left knee, take the block forward. Breathe in and step to plank pose. Bring the big toes to touch. Breathe out, turn to the outer edge of your right foot. Left arm reaches up, finding another nice long line of energy across the chest. Side plank, keep lifting the hips. Breathe in, maybe the gaze comes up. Breathe out. Inhale, hand comes to the mat for plank pose, look forward. Exhale, lower halfway, chaturanga. Breathe in, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in, roll to plank pose. Breathe out, lower all the way to the belly. Untuck the toes, come up onto the forearms, finding Sphinx pose. So elbows come underneath the shoulders. The forearms are going to be parallel like railroad tracks. If this is too much on the low back, you're just going to walk the forearms forward a bit. Right hand comes towards the left hand. Use the left hamstring to pull the left heel in towards the left seat. Look to your left. Left hand reaches back and catches the inner edge of the foot. Some of us will stay here. Some of us will pull the heel in towards the outer edge of our left hip. Some of us might be able to spin the fingertips forward, that elbow will point up. If you're here, you can turn the chest back towards the front of the mat. And then don't let yourself sink into the right shoulder. Press down through the forearm. Breathing in. Breathing out. You feel a nice opening in the front or the quad of your left leg. Breathing in. Breathing out. To release this, take your gaze and your whole torso back to the left and then release the foot. Come back to center, find Sphinx pose, parallel arms. Just arrive in center for a moment. And then the left hand comes over towards the left. Use the right hamstring to pull the right heel towards the seat. Right hand reaches back, look to the right. Yeah, turn the whole torso to the right for a moment. This is to help us avoid straining the knee. Catch the inner edge of the right foot, pull the heel towards the outer edge of the right seat. Some of us might be able to turn the fingertips forward, elbow points up, kind of like that grasshopper arm, and then turn the torso back to center. Make sure you're affirming down through the left forearm so that you're not sinking into the left shoulder. And if it's too much on the low back, just scoot the arm forward rather than compressing the neck and the shoulders. Yes. Take the gaze and the torso back to the right and then release the knee. Come back to center. And lower the forehead to the mat. Breathe in, come to hands and knees. Breathe out, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step the foot forward between the hands. Tap your back knee down, untuck the toes. Breathe in, arms reach to the sides and up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Breathe in, arms reach up. Exhale, interlace the hand, or actually just take the hands to the nape of the neck. You can interlace them if that feels right for you. Elbows pull in towards the face. And then let the hips sink as you reach your elbows up towards the ceiling. Yes, we've got a little sling for the head. Keep letting the hips sink. There's a little engagement of the belly here. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in, come back to neutral. Breathing out, hands come to the mat, frame the front foot. Tuck your back toe, lift your back knee. Right hand comes inside the right foot. Heel toe your right foot all the way to the right edge of your mat. And then lift the hips up a little bit. You're stepping your left foot forward outside the left hand. Sit the hips low and come to yogi squat. A wide leg yogi squat this time. Hands press in front of your chest and then use the elbows to press the knees in opposite directions. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more cycle here. In and out. Press down through the feet. Come to stand all the way up. Look up and see the hands overhead. And then exhale, step the feet together. Press down through the left foot. Use your right hamstring to pull your right heel towards the seat. Reach back with the right hand and catch the inner edge of the right foot. Left arm reaches up. Make this dancer's pose really easy. You're going to begin to kick the right foot into the right hand. And then you might tip forward a little bit. I'm asking you to find 65% in your dancer's pose. So you're not going all the way full out and like kicking the foot all the way and like trying to reach it to the top of the head. You're just finding a little back bend here. Find the structure, find the general shape, and then let it go. Hands come to touch in front of the heart. Press down through the right foot. Begin to tip forward as your left heel reaches back behind you. Warrior 3 as a transition here. Reach the arms forward. Arrive. And then soften your right knee. As you bend more, hands come to frame the front foot. Tap your back foot down. Spin your back heel to the mat. Take a block on the lowest, maybe medium setting, and place your hand outside the right foot. Breathing in here, lengthen, look forward a bit. Breathe out, reach the left arm up and over the ear. Side angle A. Parsvakonasana A. So the hand is outside the foot. Press the knee into the arm. Yeah. And then the gaze again can go up and underneath the armpit. Breathing in. Yes, you've got really nice long line of energy on the left side of the body. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Release the left hand back to the mat. Flip up your back heel. Move the block to the side. Breathe in and step to plank pose. Big toes touch. Breathe out. Turn to the outer edge of your left foot. Right leg floats if it's available. Bend the knee. Tap the toe behind you. Lift the hips up for rock star pose. So your right hand reaches up and over. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale here. Exhale, come back to plank. Inhale to look forward. Prepare. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step the foot forward between the hands. Tap your back knee down. Untuck the toes. Breathe in and reach the arms to the sides and up. Look up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Breathe in, arms reach up. Exhale, hands come to the nape of the neck. Elbows pull in towards the face. Let the hips sink back towards the floor, towards the front edge of your mat, and lift the elbows up towards the ceiling. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Come to center and frame the front foot with the hands. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Left hand comes inside the left foot. Heel to the field, the left foot a little to the left. Lift the hips up and soften the knees so the right foot can step forward. Yogi squat Vinyasa, hips sit low, hands come to the heart, elbows press into the knees. Again, continue to find this space for the collarbones, the chest, and pectoral muscles. Press down through the feet, stand all the way up, arms reach up and overhead, look up. Exhale, step the feet together, find Tadasana. Press through the right foot, use the left hamstring to pull the left heel towards the left seat. Reach back with your left hand and catch the inner edge of the foot. Right arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Once again, find your dancer's pose. Bring the inner edges of the legs to touch before you get started. And then begin to kick into the hand. Again, finding like 65, maybe 70% dancer's pose here. So you're not pressing all the way into this. Finding a solid structure, focusing the gaze, feeling the foot press down through the floor. And then release it. Left foot steps down, hands come to touch in front of the heart. The torso begins to tip forward as your right heel reaches back behind you. Warrior 3 as a transition. Reach the arms forward this time. And then soften the knee. Hands come to the mat. Step your right foot all the way back. Spin your right heel down. Take a block outside the left foot and place the hand on the block. Breathing in, look at your left toe. Breathing out, right arm reaches up and over the ear. Allow this to open the torso towards the right. Pull the shoulder blade back onto the back. Upper arm bone pulls back into the socket. The pinky finger turns down towards the floor. And the gaze can look up and underneath the right armpit. Keep pressing that outer edge of that back foot. See if you can get this left thigh bone parallel to the mat without sticking your butt back behind you. Yeah, it's a lot. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in here. Exhale, right hand comes to the mat, flip up your right heel, move your block to the side. Step to plank pose, bring the big toes to touch. Turn to the outer edge of your right foot. Left leg floats up, bend the knee and tap the toe behind you. Rock star pose, lift the hips. Left hand reaches up and overhead. Breathing in. Breathing out. Stay with it, inhale. Exhale, find plank pose. Breathe in, look forward. Breathe out, lower halfway chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in, roll to plank. Breathe out, lower to your belly. Bend both knees. Reach back, catch the outer edges of the feet this time. Keep the forehead on the mat and just notice if the shoulders are drooping down towards the floor. If they are, lift that outer shoulders up towards the ceiling. On your next breath in, lift the head to chest. Kick the feet into the hands. Maybe you use the hamstrings a bit to lift the knees even off the floor. You're balancing on the fleshy part of the belly and the bottom two ribs. Bow pose, Dhanurasana. So you can kick into the hands a little bit more than you're kicking in dancer's pose. You've got both legs, maybe a bit more intense here, but also symmetrical. Knees come towards one another. Keep looking forward. One more cycle. In and out. Release the forehead to the mat. Release the feet. And just swivel the hips side to side. Just a few times. Hands come underneath the armpits. Breathe in, lift the head and chest. This time we're coming to a proper cobra. So you're really lifting up. I like to keep a soft bend in my elbows. When we straighten all the way, we just kind of sit in the joints sometimes, and we stop paying attention to the low back. So keep the arms as if they're like shock absorbers, so you can adjust at any time. Stay here, or option to bend the knees. Yeah, you're gonna bend both. And then maybe you let that head tip back as if the toes could reach the crown of the head. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. And lower all the way to the mat. Make a little pillow with the hands and let the head rest. And you can swivel the hips side to side again. That feels okay. Otherwise, just stay still here for a moment. Notice the breath. Maybe you can even feel the heart beating against the mat or the floor. Hands come back underneath the armpits. Rest hands and knees. And then you're just going to come to stand up on your knees. Take a block and place it between your feet. Tuck your toes. And so the toes are going to be tucked kind of around the block here. Hands come to the low back. Elbows pull back. A little bit of engagement of the low belly here. Knees are about hip width distance, so just right stacked underneath the hips. Notice the size of the waist getting longer. I've worked on this a few different times. Notice the knees and the toes grounding into the mat. And then from that groundedness, can you begin to float the sternum? When the sternum floats, the chin will lift as well. The elbows continue to pull back. Yeah, so this is like a baby Ustrasana, baby camel pose.
You can stay here. You can walk the hands to the hamstrings. Yeah. Let there be a little bit of softness in the front of the hips. So it might mean if you feel like you're just really pressing the hips forward, you might feel a crunching in the low back. Let the hips soften here so that there's still a curve in the low back, but you're not just completely crunching into it. Right? It's somewhere in the middle because you also want the core a bit engaged here. And then maybe you reach back for the ankles. If that's the case, you can look up towards the ceiling. Keep lifting the chest. Keep focusing on finding length in the sides of the body to lift the sternum higher towards the ceiling. One more cycle of breath here. In and out. To come out of this, outer hips pull in towards the midline. Use the belly. Come up evenly, hands to heart. Untuck the toes and sit back on the block. If you have a pillow, that works too. Hands rest on the lap and just arrive. Allow the body to be still. And try to avoid chasing the mind. Put your focus on the body being still and trusting and knowing that the breath and the mind will follow. So give yourself just a moment to arrive there. And then whatever is going through your mind right now, see if you can replace it with this. Give me the courage to show up and be seen. And considering that most of us are practicing at home, and I can't even see you through my screen. So today, for this practice, for this magic carpet ride, if you will, of diving into our inner world, explore this idea of being seen by yourself, which is surprisingly a vulnerable thing to do. Surprisingly requires an openness and requires some forgiveness. Can you be seen by yourself? Because only when you're seen by yourself is when you're able to be seen for who you truly are by others. So yeah, if it feels like, whoa, okay, that's like a lot, come back to our three jewels for today: openness, vulnerability, and forgiveness. If it feels like that's too much to just dive into the deep well, that's okay. Like that, don't automatically go into the guilt thing of like, I wish I was more open. That seems like it's the better route or something. So like, just forgive yourself if any sort of like guilt or shame or things like that start to like bubble up. We're just sitting with whatever is here and seeing if we can even like see ourselves. Knowing that that's kind of like where any change within ourselves or within the world is going to start. Remembering that we're just trying to sow the seeds, or rather just prepare the space, the garden, whatever analogy you want, for change. Knowing that it'll happen already, what can you do to invite change? Give me the courage to show up and be seen. Let the eyes flutter open. Lift yourself up off your block. And then you're going to come back to your belly. A few more things here. Stay with me. Arms reach back behind you. Put the palms down toward the mat and pull the legs in toward one another. Breathe in and lift your head. your chest and your feet for Shalabhasana. Keep the hands pressing down. So keep something that's like grounding you to the earth. And then reach the head as far away from the toes as you can. Toes reach as far away from the head as they can. So we're looking for a little bit more length compared to lift. One more cycle in and out, release. Take your right arm in front or like above the head and roll yourself onto your back. When you arrive on your back, go ahead and take your blocks, if you have them, and put them kind of halfway down your mat. We'll just have a variation as we move into some more back bends. Take the arms long by the sides, and so the feet are on the mat, and knees are bent, and you'll be able to feel the backs of the heels with the fingertips. Palms are down. Press down through the palms and forearms, and lift the hips up. Interlace the fingers underneath you, and then just roll the left shoulder and then the right shoulder underneath the back. And then find your wrist and press them down. So the pinky finger might float up a little bit, but you're pressing the wrist down and the forearm. So you've got this nice base of the 2 feet and like the four bones of the forearm. Really solid kind of base here. You've got the shoulders. Good. And then the chest lifts. And then as the chest lifts, the chin lifts away as well. Help us not flatten out the neck. We want the curve in the cervical spine. And then see if you can pull your heels back towards your shoulder blades, just isometrically. So you're not moving the feet, you're just activating the hamstrings, using the feet to activate, kind of the back of the legs, the bottom part of the booty. And then slowly release the hands and release right shoulder, then left. Lower the sacrum back down to the mat. Keep the feet on the mat. And watch the breath. Just notice as we go into some of these deeper back bends, can you keep this idea? Can the courage to be seen stay? Notice if you want to protect or close. Neither way is right or wrong. Just notice what your tendency is. Hands come down by the mat, palms press down, fingertips come towards the heels. Press down through the hands and lift the seat up once again. Interlace the fingers, try to take the opposite interlacing, and then roll your right shoulder and then your left underneath. Find your wrists and your forearms, press down. Float the chest or the sternum and then lift the chin just a bit away. Pull the heels back towards the shoulder blades. So it's just a little activation, a little bit more muscular engagement here. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. And release the fingertips. Release the left shoulder and then the right. And bring the sacrum back to the mat. Keep the feet here. So we're going to take wheel pose next. Full back bend. We're going to take 2. So if you have options here. If you want to take 2 more bridge poses, you can. You can take 1 bridge and a wheel. If wheel is not in your practice today, I'm going to invite you or offer taking a block on the medium or actually the lowest, flattest setting underneath the sacrum. If it's available, maybe you put 2 blocks on the lowest, flattest setting, one on top of the other, and you can take a supported bridge there. And then if it's in your practice and you could take a half virasana with either leg for each back bend that we're doing. And that'll help you continue to open up this front side of the body. I'm going to talk us through your wheel. If you're doing any of the other variations, you're going to leave yourself. Take your hands by your ears, fingertips face towards the shoulders. And I'm going to teach, some teachers teach coming to the crown of the head. I'm going to teach coming all the way up. If you know how to come to the crown of the head safely and without compressing the neck or hurting the neck, you can absolutely practice that way as well. Feel the hands and the feet in grounding into the mat just for a cycle of breath. In and out. On your next inhale, press through hands and feet, press all the way up. Wheel pose. You can adjust your hands when you arrive. Knees track towards one another. Don't let the knees completely sway out if possible. Toes or feet are parallel to one another. And then same thing, the sternum bone reaches through the arms. Let the head hang heavy. There's no need to like crank the neck back to look at the hands. Breathing in, breathing out. Find a balance of having a bit of a softness in the groin without crunching through the low back. Just a balance. One more cycle. In and out. Tuck the chin and lower all the way down. Keep the feet on the mat. Hands come to the belly. You can let the knees fall together. Just notice your breath here. One more that we're going to take. Set yourself up for the second wheel, fourth back bend. Hands come by the ears, fingertips face towards the shoulders. Feet are in line with the hips. Take a breath in and just press down through the feet and the hands. Feel the earth. And then on the inhale, press all the way up. Let the head hang. Knees track towards one another. Sternum presses through the arms. Breathing in. Breathing out. Stay with your breath. One more cycle. In and out. Tuck the chin and slowly lower. Wherever you are in your back bend, if you're on the blocks, you're going to remove one at a time. If you're in the bridge, everyone's going to heel to their feet a little bit wider than the hips and let the knees knock in. Hands are going to come back to the belly. Yeah, just watch the body breathe here. Heel to the feet so that they're hip width distance. And just take the arms and the palms down towards the floor. Let the knees rock side to side. Just do really small windshield legs here. Nothing super, super crazy. And then extend one leg long and then the other. Reach the arms up and overhead to Doggy Mudra. Feel the belly kind of hollow out here. Just reach the fingers super far away from the toes, like a big morning stretch. And then bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet to the mat, and now we're going to hug the knees in towards the chest. And you have an option to take happy baby. Good rock side to side, giving the back a little massage here. Hug the knees back into the chest. And then release the legs long. Arms come by the sides. Palms face up. Shavasana. Can you accept this change, even right here? The change from the activity of movement, of focusing on joints and muscles and bones, to complete stillness, to quietness, to total surrender, to the openness, the vulnerability of something that is a little uncertain. Shavasana.
without changing the breath at all. See if you can guide your attention back to noticing the breath. Slowly and gently begin to move your fingers and your toes. Keep the arms up and overhead. And then bend the knees and bring the soles of the feet to the mat. Let the knee fall to the right side. Find a little flow with the the eyelids heavy or the eyes completely closed, and trust the left hand to lift you up to a comfortable seat. When you find your seat, take a cross-legged position with your non-habitual chin in front, and let the hands rest on the lap. Feel the hips grounding down into the floor. Feel the length in the sides of the body. Feel the crown of the head reaching up towards the ceiling. Keep the eyes closed or the gaze soft. Vulnerability isn't good or bad. It's not what we call a dark emotion, nor is it always a light, positive experience. Vulnerability is the core of all emotions and feelings. To feel is to be vulnerable. To believe vulnerability is weakness is to believe that feeling is weakness. To foreclose on our emotional life out of fear that the cost will be too high is to walk away from the very thing that gives purpose and meaning to living. Just notice how your body feels. Notice the quality of your breath. And notice the state of your mind. Just taking a little bit of inventory before you re-enter the world, before you retract your orb that you've created around your mat. Before you roll up the magic carpet. And then gather the hands in towards your heart center. See if you can gather with it, or hold, or harvest all of the insights, anything that you learned, anything that came up in this last 60 minutes in this class. And then carry your thumbs to your third eye, or the space between your eyebrows, your center of intuition, and release what you've gathered, knowing that all of your hard work in this class will integrate into your body, into your life, into your mind, without really any effort on your part. And then take the hands back to the heart. Let the chin dive towards the heart. The head bows to the heart. Namaste. Thanks, Gary. Thanks for being here this morning. And next class is on Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. It's called Soul Service, or what do I call it? Sunday Soul Service. It's basically like a lot of what we did today, but we won't do as intense of like backbends and stuff, and we'll replace that with restorative and yin. I'm asking for donations for these classes. I love offering them to you, but I also need to sustain my lifestyle as well. So asking for donations, and you can find me on Venmo or PayPal, and the information is over in the comments. I'm asking for a suggested minimum $10. If you can give more, that's wonderful. If you can give 10, that's great. If you can give 2, that's great. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you soon. Sending you lots of love, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.